The performance indicators can be pretty confusing to newbie DECA members, especially if they don't have DECA classes at their school. In this video, we will discuss an approach to these performance indicators in your DECA roleplays. We will talk about both how to study them and how to use them in the roleplay situation. As you may know, the performance indicators are essential to scoring well on your case presentations. Taking a look at a sample team roleplay rubric, we see that PIs, which is short for performance indicators, are worth around 70% of one's points possible on their presentation. PIs are also important to learn for exams, so please check out my Business Administration Core videos later if you haven't already, because they will assist in your preparation for DECA exams and DECA roleplays. So let's get into my approach with performance indicators, which is ironically named DECA. We will go over what that means, how exactly it's used, and another quick tip used by DECA Ontario in their studying the performance indicators. So what is DECA? DECA, D-E-C-A, stands for Define, Explain, Connect, and Above and Beyond. Define means define the performance indicator or any key terms in it. E, Explain, means explain its importance. C is for Connect. Connect this performance indicator to your actual case study situation. And A is for Above and Beyond. Find creative ways to stand out. So let's apply this to the performance indicator, explain the nature of distribution channels. For D, define, we will define any distribution channels, since that is the key term that we have here. Some performance indicators will have multiple key terms, so be sure to define all as needed. Explain its importance. Why are distribution channels important? Talk about what they do, what would happen without them, their role in a larger process, etc. Find things of that nature to find out really the root cause of why something is important. C, connect it. This is the most important step. Make sure to spend the most time and thought on this one. It really depends on the situation though. Let's say our case is about a marketing plan for a company. We might describe the types of distribution channels we would use, so try to get specific to the situation while doing so. Explain why you chose that specific channel for that specific business. Maybe it suits your target market best. Maybe it's fast. Maybe it's efficient. Whatever the case, connect your PI and be ready to provide explanations and cause and effect relationships. This demonstrates systems thinking, which is another piece of your overall rubric score. And lastly, A, Above and Beyond. This is where you really need to test your creativity. You can use charts, statistics, or anything really that you think is creative at all. For example, with the distribution channels, let's say you use the company website as a channel of distribution. Well, a sample statistic that may be of use is that there are over 3 billion internet users in the world. With such a large pool of internet users, you can further elaborate to the judge on the opportunity that a wide-scope platform like the internet presents to your company. I would recommend that you try this out yourself with a few performance indicators of your own. To do so, look up a sample case for your own roleplay event and plan out your PIs using DECA. Here you can see what my notes would look like in a roleplay plan. I would start with names and company names, then go to some notes for the introduction, but since we're focused on the performance indicators, let's talk more about that. I like to write out each performance indicator word for word, although I usually come up with some sort of transition or introduction in my head to make it sound smoother when I bring it up. Underneath that, I label each point of DECA, as you can see bulleted DECA, and jot down a few main points to cover. I never write down full sentences for two reasons. One, it takes up too much time, and two, you should never be reading full sentences straight off of your paper to the judge. By having only main ideas, I can only take a quick glance and must formulate sentences off the top of my head that encompass my main points. Therefore, I will spend less time looking at my paper and more time making eye contact with my judge. It's basically a way of forcing yourself to not look at your paper too much while speaking, therefore resulting in better communication. And the last point on my plan would be my closing. Lastly, I want to share a performance indicator worksheet with you guys. I will have a link in the video description to a Google Drive version of this file. This sheet is a great long-term approach to studying performance indicators. As you can see, you would write out the instructional area, topic or performance element, and the actual performance indicator. Then, you take notes and write down any definitions needed. Underneath those notes, you follow DECA Ontario's 3-step role-play process, which is MDA, or Mention, Demonstrate, and Apply. And this process wants you to consider how you would mention or bring up the performance indicator, how you would demonstrate it, And lastly, how you would apply it to your actual situation. The apply portion corresponds greatly to connect or see from DECA, so put the most emphasis on this one. And that's all I have for you guys. Good luck preparing and enjoy your conferences.